Assalamu alaikum. Today our unit is on the angels, and it's a very amazing reality if you think about angels and you have the right information. We never did get too much information about the angels, other than they just couldn't disobey, and they were made of light, and they were all around us everywhere. And that was about where it ended. But this book gives you quite a bit more about the angels, and some of it is very controversial. And it's a very long chapter, so I'm going to keep this at half an hour, inshallah. And we will begin where I like to always begin, with the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حتى إذا فزع عن قلوبهم قالوا ماذا قال ربكم قالوا الحق وهو العلي الكبير. This verse is from Surah As-Saba. Now, I'm going to be referring to some meanings because it's important. But then I'll go right on to what is more important after you get the meanings. It's this amazing subject. In hada, speaking in hada, meaning munasiba, atarjama, regarding the meaning here. هذا من براهين الدالة على أنه لا يستحق أحد أن يكون شريكا مع الله. Once again, the essence of what we're doing is Tawheed, and here is the proof that nobody can deter Allah from what He's going to do, or even be a partner in any way as to what He's going to do. لأن الملائكة وهم أقرب ما يكون من الخلق لله, even the angels, and they are the closest of any creation to Allah Azza wa Jal. ما عدا خواص بني آدم يحصل منهم عند كلام الله سبحانه الفزع. So he's saying here, my eye is running. He's saying here that even the angels, and they're always with Allah, and they know Him very well, they can yafza'u. Doesn't it even sound scary, the word faza'a, and qulubihim. Now, when I was living in Egypt, whenever they'd be shocked by something, and this is funny because I told you that they don't really use fusha, but they mix the amiyah with it in such a way that the minute I read this, I went, faziyah. Because whenever they'd get really excited, whether it be in happiness or anger or shock or whatever, they'd go, oh, faziyah. And it took me a while to wonder, why is it used in all these? It's like subhana, they use the words in so many different ways. Arabic is a very special language. You have to live with it, you have to study it, you have to question it, you have to digest it, you have to love it. Faziyah, it's a faziyah language. Here, the verse says that the angels, faziyah an qulubihim. And then Allah is telling you, well, what's going on here? They're so close to Allah, and why would they have this yafza'a? And then He tells you, because kalam Allah subhanahu al-faz'a hatta idha fuziya an qulubihim. Now, fuziya an qulubihim, it means, qulubihim means their hearts, and they were so affected at this point that they almost lost it. In other words, an qulubihim, if you say an something, it means it's getting out. Does this mean the angels had no self-control? Let's keep reading. قال ذلك ولم يقل فزعت قلوبهم. It says here that it was said with an. It wasn't just said فزعت قلوبهم. It was فزع عن قلوبهم. Now, this is grammar, but it's important. إذا تفيد المجاوزة. So it's something that's happening in their hearts, very close to their hearts. والمعنى جاوز فزع قلوبهم أي الزيل والفزع عن قلوبهم. So he's saying here that the faza'a azil al-faza an qulubihim. So I put a big question mark here because izala azil means to take it out. So keep reading. Wal faza is al-khawf mufaja', sudden fear. لأن الخوف المستمر لا يسمى فزعان. So a continual fear is never termed faz'an. You see the detail here in this language. There's a special name for sudden fear, but that it goes away. We would just say sudden fear, and it shows you how Arabic is so deliberately pointed and there's no escape from the meanings. Okay. Aslu النحود من الخوف. So you're being taken away now. وقوله عن قلوبهم. قلوب الملائكة. It means the angels' hearts. لأن الضمير يعود عليهم بدليل ما ساتي من حديث أبي هريرة. He said he's going to give you a hadith coming up from Abi Huraira. ولا أحد من الخلق أعلم بتفسير القرآن من رسول الله. He said there's no one of any creation that knows the tafsir of the Quran more than Prophet Muhammad. So here, قَوْلُ, and this is in the Quran, قَالُوا مَاذَا قَالَ رَبُّكُمْ. So this is answering the question, ماذا? And then قَالُوا رَبُّكُمْ. مَعنى بَعْضُهُمْ لِبَعْضٍ. Part of them to others. وَإِنَّمَا قُلْنَا ذَلِكَ لِأَنَّ فِي كَلَامٍ قَائِلًا is the kalam of the speaker. وَمَقُولًا is the one who is spoken to. So he's saying here, جَعَلْنَا الدَّمِيرَ فِي قَالُوا عَائِدَ عَلَى الْجَمِيعِ, that this is going to everyone. This particular concept that we're talking about here is being to everyone. فَأَيْنَ الْمَقُولَ لَهُ, how, where? الْمَعنَى عَنْ شَيْءٍ قَالَ رَبُّكُمْ وَأَعْرَابُ مَاذَا أَعْلَمَ أَوْجِهِ. So he's giving you 1, 2, 3 choices. What do you think it means? Ma is a word of istifham, mubtada. It's a question word. إذا اسم الموصول خبر. So he's saying it's a subject and a predicate. The second choice is ماذا اسم الاستفهام مركب من ما وإذا. He's giving you, this grammar is getting very, I don't think this is going to help, but ما اسم الاستفهام, what is the ism? What is the noun here about understanding? وذا زائدة. قال Ibn Malik, and he's giving you poetry, and I will not do poetry because it's hard. And you don't know it, and I don't really know it well enough because I don't really like it. I don't like poetry. That's almost a sin to say to Arabs, but never did like it, even in high school, and I just didn't like it. And the answer is qalul haq. So this whole thing is referring to angels hearing Allah. And they got so fuzia that they said, what is it? And the answer is, it's haq, because it's kalam Allah. Al-haq fi kalam huwa as-saddaqa fil akhbar. You can trust that this is news that is trustworthy. Wa'adl fil ahkam, and fair in its judgment. Kama qala Allah Ta'ala, and this is Quran, وَتَمَتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ صِدْقًا وَعَدْلًا. Surah Al-An'am, Allah says, Allah's words are fixed, tammat, perfectly. They don't slip and slide all over the place. Tammat kalimatu rabbika sidqan wa adlan. They are certainly true and they are certainly fair, and you can't, there's just no doubt about it. So he's saying here, qalul haq. The answer is the angels are getting haq because they're very close to Allah, and what Allah does They feel it more than anyone else because they're next to him. They're up there with Allah, and they are also surrounding us as well, and they give messages from Allah to us. I think that will be it for also وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْكَبِيرُ. Now I just want to get on to the next nusus. This is in a hadith, Bukhari. Is it Bukhari? Yes. في صحيح عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن النبي قال صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إذا قضى الله أمر في سماء دربت الملائكة بأجنحتها خضعا لقول. So when they get the news from Allah, they literally darabat malaika biajnihatiha, they flap their wings because they're so كأنه سلسلة على صفوان ينفذوها. It's like twinkling bells. حتى إذا فزع عن قلوبهم قالوا ماذا. So when their hearts like almost freak out, they say ماذا. قال ربكم قالوا الحق وهو العلي الكبير. This same phrase or ayah is being written here 6-7 times, on the previous page 6-7 times. I think we get it. The mani here is صوت يبلغ منهم كل مغل مبلغ. Make dua with me. أعوذ بالله من شر ما أجد وهذا. Allah's words are the most expressive. It's called balagha. So when you say balaghani, it means say it as well as you can, where it can be understood as thoroughly as you possibly could put it into words. It's called balagha. And then that's what Allah does. And even in very few words, the way He chooses the words and so forth, it's ablag. That's what they're saying. Now, let's go to another nas. That was Bukhari. This one is Bukhari. Oh, you know, I told you the story about my friend went to the fortune teller and he put his hand here and she was nervous, and well, this is actually ratifying that. Words of devils that can be heard, and you're going to find out how they can be heard here. It's kind of scary, but it is what it is. The devils find a way, and this is in Quran also, to listen to what is being said through the realms of, you can say, the sky down to the earth. فَيَسْمَعُهَا مُسْتَرَقُ وَالسَّمَى. So mustaraka means to steal a hearing. They're hearing. وَمُسْتَرَقَ السَّمَى هَكَذَا بَعْضُهُ فَوْقَ بَعْضٍ. And there are some above others in the stratosphere, or whatever you would call it, ionosphere, the sky. And they are فوق بعض, one above the other. وَصَفَّهُ سُفْيَانَ بِكَفَّهِ. And they clap their hands. فَحَرَفَهَا وَبَدَّدَ بَيْنَ أَصَابِعِهِ. I'm sorry, between their fingers, they were doing something. فَسَمَعَ الْكَلِمَةِ فَيُلِيقُهَا إِلَى مَنْ تَحْتِ. So by whatever they were doing here, they were able to let these words get down. And that is the meaning of all of this, that these devils, Allah gave them some capability to do this, which is why they did it to my friend, and she was so freaked out. And then she went to the priest, and the priest said they deal with jinn and don't go back there. It's very dangerous. And so she didn't go back there. But, you know, I would never have imagined when I was young that there would be an explanation for this. I just thought it was very weird and spooky and crazy, and so glad I didn't go. Then it says, ثُمَّ يُلِيقَهَا آخِرَ إِلَى مَنْ تَحْتِ. So he's explaining how this is going from above to below. حَتَّى يَلْقِيهَا عَلَى لِسَانِ السَّاهِرِ. So until it reaches the tongue of the magician, أو كاهن. There's a lot of words in Arabic for people that deal in the unseen and scary stuff. And one of it is called the sahir. Another one is called a kahin. What's the third one? I forget. But when you hear the word sahir, meaning the magician, or sahar, meaning magic, or mashurun, or mashurin, all of this in the final analysis is an illusion. Because the meaning of sihr is يلبس الحق بالباطل وباطل بالحق, to show something as that is true as untrue, or something that is untrue as true. And we have proofs of this meaning in the Quran. In one verse Allah says, أَمْ سِحْرٌ هَذَا وَلَأَنْتُمْ لَا تُبْصِرُونَ. Is this magic, or are you just not seeing clearly? Yubasirun means to be having basira, insight to something. Or are you just tricked and fooled like in a magic show? You think you're understanding it and you're actually not. This is a huge subject. If you try to do this in Egypt, they won't believe you. Well, first, they don't let them do this. This is not taught because they teach them that magic is real and Pharaoh can do anything and people have to obey him because he has his magicians. And, well, Musa didn't think that. Musa just wiped them all out. They said it was with his staff, and then the Pharaoh's magicians just crumbled, and in the end they said, we believe in the Lord of Musa. This tafsir is very problematical until today. What is the staff of Musa? What was it? Oh, he threw it, and it wiggled. And then another one is, no, it means he spoke the words of Allah to them, and they wiggled, and they thought that they were just fuzia and qulubihim. They were freaked out. In the end, they believed in Musa because they couldn't control his words. All right, so let's go to the next one. You know, the way this is structured, they're not doing it the way they should. Staraka sama, staraka sama, hakada ba'du, fawqa ba'd. Okay. And then they continue it on the next page, but it's not continued properly. That's why I said he has to make another edition. For me. Malik of Saudi Arabia. Make another edition for me. I promise I'll put it to good use. But right now, this one is, well, it's old. It's 25 years old. It was published. Well, anyway, this is another Bukhari hadith. It says, فَرُبَّمَا أَدْرَكَهُ الشَّهَابِ قَبْلَ أَنْ يُلْقِيهَا. It talks about an ayah in the Quran where Allah says, when they manage to get some information, Allah will strike them with a shahab. So now this is some sort of a power that is used against devils. And it is used with power and it works. So when they're trying to do something that Allah doesn't want, it's not like this is random. It's not like there is these magicians that they can do things and they can bring the story, the khabar, from the highest heaven, from the angels, and let it go down in stages until it gets down to strike someone, which is what their intention was. Harm, it would be harm. It would not be to strike someone nicely. It would be to strike someone harmfully. And then Allah sends upon them the shahab. It's some sort of you could say almost a Star Wars kind of power, like, and then they're gone. So, فَيُكَذِّبُوا مَعَهَا مِيَّةَ كَذِبٍ. So this sahir, or this liar, we shouldn't say magician. We should say this imposter. That's a better word. It says that he is trying to bring down 100 lies, even though he might have heard one piece of the truth. When he comes down, he'll bring 100 lies. فَيُقَالُ أَلَيْسَ قَدْ قَالَ لَنَا يَوْمَ كَذَا وَكَذَا? Didn't we hear about this and that and this and that? وَكَذَا وَكَذَا? And this and that? فَيُصَدَّقُ بِتِلْكَ الْكَلِمَةِ الَّتِي سَمِعَتَ مِنْ السَّمَاءِ. And so that the people that heard it, they believe it. يُصَدَّقُ. And this is, it is true that most of the Middle Eastern people believe in the jinn more than they believe in Allah. Yes, it is true. Yes. They're afraid of it more than they fear Allah. And nothing is done to try to help them out, to get them out of this, because, well, why would you want a woke populace? Why? If you were a ruler, should I say over there or should I say in general? If you were a ruler and you had to get authority over millions and millions and millions of uneducated people, it'd be just easier to scare them than to educate them, because you might not be certain they'd be on your side, would you? You might think that they might rebel. Yeah, that's why this book is not taught. Okay, let's see. All right, we have another hadith here. Oh, good. This is Bab Tahrim al-Kahana. In this chapter, we are dealing with how a kahana is haram. Tahrim al-Kahana. النواس بن سمعان رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أراد الله تعالى أن يوحي بالأمر تكلم بالوحي. If Allah wants to inspire an affair, He does it through wahi. Al-amr. Al-amr means something. He will inspire the someone that He wants to know is worth it, and he's going to believe it. So, أخذت السماوات منه رجفة. So when this happens, when Allah does the wahi, the skies, rajfa, it's like they shake. أو قال وعدة شديد. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not what, it's ra. رعد شديد. Ra'ad is thunder. So when something is happening huge, you hear thunder. خوفا من الله. Bringing fear from Allah. Yes. خوفا من الله. The skies literally shake with thunder in fear of Allah. I have to do 2 more hadith and we're almost out of time. I have to tell you this because this is so important. I think I mentioned it already a long time ago when I first started doing lessons. It was so profound for me. I always grew up thinking thunder was angels bowling because that's what my mom taught me. So when you're little and you get scared of thunder, like all children do, especially up north, it really shakes. It's like the whole house shakes. It's made out of brick too. So it's really scary when I was a child. And my mom would say, no, don't worry, children. It's just the angels bowling. The angels bowling. And I remember my little Catholic trained mind, because I was so Catholic trained, that I thought, oh, I think this could be a sacrilege. How could my mom be talking like this? Angels bowling. But that was the only story I got. So that when I really found out, there's a surah in the Quran, and it's called thunder, Surat Ra'ad. And it's not angels bowling. It's the sound of the skies almost like exploding. I mean, especially here in Florida, if you want to hear some thunder, we never had thunder like this up north. There's thunder down here. Very scary. And it comes with huge rainstorms. Okay, so فَإِذَا سَمِيَ ذَلِكَ أَهْلُ السَّمَوَاتِ. So when the people of the skies heard it, صَعَقُوا وَخَرُّوا لِلَّهِ سُجَّدًا. Sa'aqa is another word that means, actually it's the word for the special forces. We would call them, what would we call them in the American military? You know, the toughest of the toughest of the tough. In the Arab world, they call them sa'iqa. And they're the ones that are highly trained to, you know, climb mountains and deep sea dive and do all of that stuff. So, sa'iqa, وَخَرُّوا لِلَّهِ سُجَّدًا. They just bow, actually they prostrate. Sujjada, to Allah. Who does that? Everyone up in the sky. أهل السماوات. فيكون أول من يرفع رأسه جبريل. So they've all made prostration, and the first one to lift his head up is the angel Jibreel. فَيُكَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ مِنْ وَحْيِ. And Allah will speak to him of the wahi way, which is inspiration. You could say it's an indirect form that only came to him. بِمَا أَرَادَ. By what Allah wanted, He gave it to him by wahi. ثُمَّ يَمُرُّ جِبْرِيلٌ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ. And then Jibreel would pass on what Allah wanted him to pass on to the rest of the angels. كُلَّمَا مَرَّ بِالسَّمَاءِ. And he would pass through the entire sky. سألوا الملائكة. The angels would ask, ماذا? ماذا? What's this? ماذا قال ربنا يا جبريل? What is he saying to us? What does he want from us? جبريل يقول ذلك الحق وهو العلي الكبير. فيقولون كلهم مثل ما قال جبريل. And the angels repeated it, that Allah speaks haqq. فينتهي جبريل بالوحي إلى حيث أمره الله عز وجل. So then, Jibreel, and that's why I say this story about the angels really needs a lot of work, not just what's here. There is not enough information about angels, and I'm sure it's somewhere, but we're going to have to dig for it. Jibreel brings down this wahi from Allah to where Allah orders it to go. Amarhu Allahu Azza wa Jal. And this is here we go. They're saying that Albani says there's some weakness in this. However, who said not that it's sah is Ibn Mas'ud. And that is in Sahih al-Jamia. Why is this a big deal? Because Ibn Mas'ud was the one that Prophet Muhammad said, take your Quranic recitation from Ibn Mas'ud. And he would even say to Ibn Mas'ud, please read the Quran. Well, I don't know if he said please, but he said, and Ibn Mas'ud said, no, I can't. You're Muhammad. What do you mean? You want me to read to you? He said, yes, I like to hear it from others. So he would always choose Ibn Mas'ud. So that's why, as I say, the shuyukh differ. So Albani said, and Albani, he died 100 years ago. So he's a modern man, but he was considered the best hadith recorder ever. And Ibn Masud was in the time of Prophet Muhammad. They lived together. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were the same era, you can say. Oh, half an hour. Well, I think we got what you need to know, because the essence of that chapter is angels hearing the words of Allah, and even though they lived with him, let's say forever, and they could never disobey because they were really perfect, sometimes they would fuzia an qulubihim, and they would just be terrified. Now, where do we take that from where we are right now? Well, we have to believe that angels are all around us. We have to believe that they are invisible. We have to believe that they protect us. And we have to believe that Allah sends them in certain places and times for specific reasons, but in general, they are all around us. And they communicate. And there's just so much more we have to know about angels, because I think that a lot of what we know has been passed on, and there's a lot of Christianity in it. Like, we used to wear angel costumes. Oh, I just have to leave you with this one last story. Oh, I have to, though. It's 31 minutes, but this is the way to end the angel story. When I was in Catholic school, every year we'd have the Christmas pageant, and the nuns would choose who would be in it and why. And, all the ladies, all the girls, and all the, oh, I want to be Miriam. And then all the boys would say, oh, I want to be Yusuf, because they think that Miriam had this man, but never mind, but it's a lie, but that's what they used to do. And then they would have baby Jesus in the manger with straw all around, and then they would have students dressed up like little mules and little horses and bunny rabbits around, and it was really fun. It was called the Christmas pageant. So this was supposedly the birth of Christ. And so we had songs that we sang. You want to hear a line? You just, Allah save me from all of this. One of the songs was called, "O Come All Ye Faithful." And I want you to hear it. It's your right. You're a Muslim. You have to know what they do, and you have to know it well. I won't sing it because I can't sing, but here's the first line. Now remember, I was chosen to be the angel that was going to announce the birth of Christ the Lord. I was the angel. And then I had to get in the back of I was coming, not in the beginning. So in the beginning was Mary and baby Jesus and Joseph and the animals. And there were a couple of friends there, I guess, when Mary was birthing the baby Jesus. And my line was coinciding with the first line of the song. So I was standing in the back waiting for the nun to say, okay, come. And I was all nervous. I was so nervous. And they started to sing the song. And here is the first line of the song. O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye, to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. And I think the last line was, come and adore him, Christ the Lord. I'm supposed to say this, right? It was a song. It was quite a pretty song. Then we were all supposed to join in and sing it. So I'm standing there like, what's going on? I'm supposed to be out there. I'm supposed to be saying it. And I didn't want to move or do anything funny. I mean, all the families were there, and I just kind of froze. I didn't know what to do. And I'm doing like this, like this, nothing. She didn't call me. Now, why did that happen? Allah wouldn't let her call me. Same thing that happened in my confirmation. When the priest was going up and down the aisle, taking everyone's name that they chose to be a daughter of the church, and and he gets to me, and he freezes and stands there like he's comatose. And I'm kneeling, and I'm looking up. I was so nervous because Catholic school, it's just a regimental military. I don't know what I can say. I don't want to say anything too bad because the Pope just died and I don't care. However, I have to be careful what I say, but I'll never forget the feeling. And the altar boy, one on each side, and you have to put your head down. They told us you don't put your head up. You don't look at the Archbishop's face because he was the one that was going to make the sign of the cross on you and say, daughter of Christ, what's your name? And again, he didn't ask me. This is kind of giving me goosebumps. I don't think of these things. It was so long. I'm 77. So you know how old I am. You know how long ago that was? 60 years ago? No, more, 64. So I suppose I was not ever really solidified in my faith. So when I used to ask questions in school, the nun would say, Mary Diane, oh, you of little faith, be quiet. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum.